Welcome to the meeting room at Global TV Talk Show, a broadcast service of globalbusinessnews.net.
This episode from the meeting room of Global TV Talk Show is brought to you by
The Bridge School, the accredited international online private school of choice, at bridgek12.org.
Porch Light Rental and Destination Services. Reduce your renter lump sum or managed relocation costs. Visit them at porchlightrental.com.
And by airs.com. With our full range of services, we can help design and manage your international relocation. Find us at airs.com.
Primestone Partners, featuring corporate, government, and developer housing solutions, as well as senior-level advisory services. Find them at primestonepartners.com.
And by International Auto Source. We are the vehicle experts for expats, featuring all major brands of automobiles with flexible solutions and financing. On the web at intlauto.com.
Become a global player in your field.
Cross Culture to Go provides virtual support for your global business and career success.
We can help you thrive in 140 plus countries and markets.
On the web at crossculturetogo.com.
It's just about 8:30 in California on Friday the 13th. That's August 13. The year is 21. And our special guest today is in Chicago. It's Studi. And now Studi is an LA resident, but she's in Chicago temporarily on some business and family things. So we had a discussion earlier today about doing some conversations with others, and the issue came up about her current situation because I asked her how her job at that marketing ad agency is going, which is a fabulous position, and she said, and it shocked me, that she cannot work because of a mess going on in visa. I had no idea. Now, I'm not an attorney, but some customers are, and so I was perplexed, and I asked her, Studi, would you come on the show and tell us more? So here's Studi. Studi, would you please properly introduce yourself?
Hi, sure. Thanks, Edwin. I am Studi. I am from India. I moved to the US a few years ago, and I live in Los Angeles. I am an HR consultant, a design thinking consultant, a diversity and inclusions advocate. And as Edwin pointed out, I had recently joined a job. I had taken up a position at Ogilvy, which is the largest marketing agency in the world. I was playing a role in diversity and inclusion. And unfortunately, I had to give up that role because my work permit in the US expired, and the current wait time is something like 20 months. So, and I'm eligible to live in the country, but I'm not eligible to have any kind of employment in the US or in any other part of the world. So I cannot have a job, a virtual job in any part of the world. I cannot be making any money as long as I'm within the border of the United States.
This sounds oppressive.
It does feel a little bit like I'm in jail.
No, but you did nothing wrong.
I did nothing wrong, and nobody did anything wrong. It's not like my immigration lawyers made a mistake. It's just that there for the last few years, the immigration department has been taking longer to process visas because they have added a few checks and balances, which in my opinion are not all bad, but it has just created a backlog. And then COVID hit, so the offices were not working at the same capacity as they were before. So the backlog has now increased, and there are about 1.3 million people eligible to be working in the United States. People like me, mostly Indians and mostly women, who are eligible to work. And usually people who are high skilled. So they would be having IT jobs, lawyers, doctors. So yes, there are lots of doctors that have lost their visas at this point where they could be used in our medical system. But yeah, we are not allowed to work. We are allowed to stay here. It's absolutely legal. In some states, we're not allowed to drive either. Luckily, I can drive, but it's we cannot work and we cannot work. That's it. That's the only thing we cannot do. But we can stay here, we can spend our money here, and we cannot exit the country. Because the moment you exit the country, your process gets canceled. Your visa process gets canceled. So I have to stay within the country.
What a mess.
It is a mess. And there is, it's a game of waiting. There is one way you can request your local congressperson to prove to them that your case is an urgent case, and they could request USCIS, that's the department that manages visas, if they would consider your case to be expedited. But that has to be like if there is severe financial strain on your family, or there is a very excessive, it's very rare. So me and all the other people that I know who are in the situation actually have been rejected the congressional approach. So basically our congressperson came back to us and said, sorry, your case has not been accepted by USCIS as a case to be expedited.
This
So
is
we
sad. Wow.
It is.
So you're tied in with your husband's visa, is that correct?
Correct. I'm on a dependent visa. So if you're a primary visa holder, the situation is still bad, but you have an option to expedite. So you pay a little bit extra and you can do a premium processing of your visa. So if you're an L1 visa or you're an H1B visa, you can pay about, I think it's about $2,000 per person, and you can expedite it. So then it just takes 15 days. And that is part of the process. But historically, what happened is if dependents, that is like me, I'm on an H4 visa. If I applied with my husband, because his was on premium processing, mine went with his. But over the last few years, they have decided to separate the two categories. So not process the dependent visa with the primary visa holder, and the dependents are not allowed to premium process. So we are not even allowed to pay the $2,000 and get that, because I would pay the $2,000 as opposed to losing employment for 20 months.
Right, and that's a fabulous position you had. Boy, that's great. So, but you can do volunteer work, right?
I can do I can do volunteer work. I cannot work with an organization. I cannot take any position that would have otherwise been paid, but I can work with nonprofits, and which I did before I got my work permit. And I am looking at a couple of nonprofits to work with right now. I have also shifted all my business offerings to be pro bono, and I consider that to be an opportunity to give back to people who may not have been able to afford other services that I offer. But yes, I can do any volunteer work.
We interrupt this broadcast to bring you a timely announcement.
Hi, I'm Sergei Gorbatov.
I'm Angela Lane.
Together we're researchers, writers and practitioners in the field of human resources.
And we've also been multi-country, multi-assignment career expats.
We owe our professional development and growth to a very large extent to the international assignment opportunities that we have had.
But in a world where distributed work may become the norm, we also want to understand what will happen to the nature, duration, and purpose of international assignments.
Together with our colleague, Julian Dalzell from the University of South Carolina, we're undertaking a study on the future of expatriation.
And we'd value your contribution. You can participate in this important study by completing a simple 10-minute questionnaire.
Access the questionnaire by typing in your browser tinyurl.com/expert study. That's tinyurl.com/expert Expat Study. You can also find the link here on Ed's website next to this video.
Thank you for joining us in this study. In return for your contribution, we'll provide you with a copy of our research.
And of course, you'll be invited to an exclusive webinar hosted by Ed, where we will share our findings right here on Global Business News.
And so please go to tinyurl.com/expat study. Take the survey so that we can better understand the future of expatriation.
Something that's really neat is that the Bridge School partners with various organizations to provide learning for their students. For example, we partner with a major ballet company, and we are able to enroll several of their students into our school. So now not only is the student able to participate in a school and have a seamless transition while they're very active in their ballet career, but now they have other dancers that are with them that are doing some of the same courses. So it's almost becoming a camaraderie where they're taking similar courses, they're working together on their ballet, and really being able to form this great partnership with these organizations to provide a needed service. A lot of times there are student athletes who will spend hours and hours at the gym or at the basketball courts, wherever it is. And if they're attending a traditional school, they're in school from 8 to 3. They get a quick snack, and then they're at the gym for 3 to 4 hours in the evening. Coming to us and having that partnership, they're able to break that up throughout the day. They can have a morning practice, get some schooling in, have an afternoon practice, finish their schooling in the evening. So there's that flexibility. And additionally, if there are tournaments or performances, it's fantastic because if there's a week where they have shows straight through, they can take that week off of learning and then pick back up when they're done. So it offers this great flexibility. And for the program owners of these sports leagues, it is a win-win situation for them because they see this need. They see this need that their students need to make sure that they are obtaining the grades necessary to be successful adults in our country and in other countries. But it provides them an environment where they can be successful at both.
So earlier you had been involved with Disrupt HR, Disrupt LA or in HR. Right?
Yes. Yes. So Disrupt HR LA and HR Hackathon Los Angeles are two events that I co-organize with other organizers. So technically I can still host them as long as I am not reaping any financial benefits out of it. So which is still going to happen. It's just that we are not hosting them at this point because especially Disrupt HR LA is a physical event. We do not want to make that virtual. So there has been no Disrupt HR LA for the last 1.5 years. And we were hoping to have one later this year, but now it's seeming to be a little doubtful. We're going to see how, we're going to take a month and see whether we can host one in October or November.
Well, Studi, thank you very much for being my guest on a ad hoc, almost emergency basis here. We want to help you get PR, and we need to display this program so that a lot of people understand the mess. And it's craziness because there could be solutions here. I'm not a lawyer, but I mean, there could be solutions of working things out, and so that the government actually collects more taxes too.
Yes, and actually that is definitely one of the approaches people are fighting for, that why don't we allow dependents to pay the extra money, because that's revenue to the department, which is actually bleeding right now in terms of, because consulates around the world are still closed. So there's no visa fees that they're collecting. So, and I'm optimistic that some things might happen, but yeah, it's a game of patience. And well, thank you so much for having me on this platform and helping me share my message.
Yeah, well, thank you, Studi. You take care, and we'll see you on
24th.
August
24th.
August 24th. Yeah, and
Yes.
thank you. And the book is called Nomad Women, right?
Nomad, adventurous business women who are changing the world while traveling. I'm sorry, I always say it the wrong way. So
Yeah,
nomad, yeah, adventurous women. It's a
Nomad
book
Women.
by women. It's a book by women who travel and have regular jobs or who have their own businesses. It's actually a very interesting book by 16 different authors.
Well, good. We look forward to that broadcast on August 31.
August 24.
August 24. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Edwin.
Okay, bye-bye now.
Have a good day. Bye.
This is Ed in San Diego. You're on Global TV Talk Show, and that's Studi today in Chicago.
Thank you for joining us in the meeting room at Global TV Talk Show.
Have a wonderful day, and stay safe.